Is it dry yet?
It's dry enough to move, that's all I care about.
What do you call it? A road hazard.
Yeah, it's a pretty stupid idea, to be honest with you.
Painted in orange?
Yeah.
You'll see it.
I mean, yeah, you're not going to miss seeing it. You'll see the cracks.
No, it wasn't supposed to be like this.
Says the guy that's making it like this. You know when you stare in a really bright light and it makes you sneeze? Yeah, I feel like doing that right now. We're out in the daytime. Let's give you an update with where we're at with the cars, where we're at with the 14, and what I'm currently up to. So we've got the C-West S14 Koki back from Loco. All very pretty now. I've just fitted up the rest of the kit. I stuck the roof wing on yesterday. That's looking pretty snazzy. I had to put it on with bricks and rags and stuff, so I wasn't sure how it was going to go. It had quite a big bend in it, so yeah, it's about as good as it's going to get. I've done the camber arms, which are these guys, and I've done the rear toe arms, which are these guys. These guys are traction arms. We're leaving them factory for now. We'll worry about that later. And the LCAs don't need to be changed in the rear either, because street car, we've got to keep it streetable, not get too over the top and overbuild it and then not actually get to drive it and spend the next year and a half doing exactly what I'm doing with the Skyline and doing everything because I overbuild things. Fronts, however, I'm doing extended 25mm LCAs of Corey's S14 as well as drop knuckles. We're doing the hard race tie rods, and I've just got some aftermarket no-name caster arms. Ugh, that are really gross, but still better than nothing, and it's better than my factory stuff. It's adjustable, so it will allow me to change my alignments and really dial in the car to suit me and my driving style and how I want it. So you're painting your rear subframe orange because you have this obsession with orange. Oh, you just finished polishing that and you're painting it black? Yeah. Ugh.
And then it's going to go orange on top.
Okay, wait. Why are you doing a black base coat and then orange on top?
Because I'm weird.
Why wouldn't you do an anodized base coat and then orange on top?
Because the orange is going on top of the plenum, that's why.
Yes.
It's going to be under the car.
Nope.
You're barely going to be able to see that.
I'm walking away, you're going to trigger me. You trigger. Hey, when did you do that?
Just then, I think. Oh, I don't know.
Anyway, so yeah, Corey's painting stuff and cleaning things up. Benjamin is pulling the motor out of that 33. We got Luke's car here. So, and I'm currently, doing my arms. And I'm mounting up my front mount to clear the bar without me having to hack up my front bar. I'd rather hack up my intercooler piping than my front bar. It's looking very pretty. It's out of the sun at the moment, so I can't really show you what it looked like, but it's very, very pretty in the sun. I just heard you correctly in the background doing a comp test on this.
Yeah.
What's the numbers? Are we scared?
Yeah, 6 is a little bit lower.
What do we got?
Which is a bit worrying.
Cylinder 1? Yeah, 145 cylinder 1.
145 cylinder 2.
Yep.
140, 140, 145, 133. RBs will blow anything any day of the week. That's the problem with them. But yes, lineage problems usually tend to cause...
Lineage problems?
Yeah.
Due to the manifold?
Due to the airflow of the manifolds and or like because the rams too much air in the back and or depending on how you plumb your fuel, depending on which ones lean out on injectors, if you happen to have it at the end of the beginning of the rail.
What about SRs?
What do you mean, what about them?
What do I want to know about them?
What do you want to know about them?
Yeah,
they
give
blow
me...
up just as easy.
Stop it! Blasphemy!
Yeah.
I know this. Out of all you people right here, I've blown the most of them, but don't talk bad. As a mechanic and someone that's been doing this for the last 6 years or so, what is the classic, low comp or cylinder issues that you have with the SR?
SRs don't usually have that problem.
They're just rockers.
SRs usually smash valves.
Yeah. Ouch. What about JZs?
God's motor.
God's motor.
They don't break.
I mean, we've tried breaking them. Legit. We've tried breaking them. I've broken one.
Alternator consistently dying.
Yeah, so your alternator. Alright, yeah, no, actually we have seen that because Michael's the other day, I think his alternator did kaput itself as well. But they're old, so that's to be expected, and you ask a lot of them these days where we run all the electronics and the thermos and etc, etc. I done my thrust washer bearings on mine, and the thing still ran for another 2 years after that. And then I eventually put a new clutch in it, and the clutch was a little too extreme for it, and it pulled the remaining thrust washer bearings through and then pulled the crank through, and then I spun a bearing. But it still drove me home. So that, it died, but it ran, but it died. Benjamin, you've tried killing your VVTi-1J. It has not successfully happened. The thing is still purring as ever.
Yeah, rocks and all.
Yeah, actually you found a rock in your, what was it, what was in the intake? What was the intake? On the valve.
Yeah, sitting against the valve.
Yeah, so if you want to see that, we did vlog that. If you want to see a rock in a drift car VVTi-1J, and it still ran with it in there. For we didn't even know it was in there until we pulled the motor down. You can find that video earlier through my playlists under, you'll find it. Just look for the one with it's a close-up thumbnail of a pulled down JZ, and I think I'm pointing to it going, you know, what the hell is that doing in there kind of thing. So, gross.
Easy.
This, yeah, so I did say when this thing first rocked up, it was needing a little bit of work. I'm going to get back to it before we lose all the daylight, and try and get the wheels on this and get it on the ground. Here, these are my Desmond White Sports. These are rare 90s wheels, very nice looking wheels. Not as expensive as something like an LMGT2, but probably, I wouldn't say rare like them, because these days LMGT2s don't seem to be too rare. But nice wheels, very cool. I like running them, and I put the Nismo stickers from the LMGT2s on them. Legit, just to troll people because it was funny, and they were white faced. We've got JDM's Project Mu D1 spec front and rear brake pads. We've got online auto parts, full slotted and dimpled rotor sets coming up with, I think they had a little Nissan S chassis badge for the bonnet. So I'll get that one as well. And then the third cart was, what was it? I can't remember the third cart. But there's a third cart, and there's probably going to be a fourth cart because I need to get some stuff from GK Tech. We're going to do an ABS brake delete. GK Tech sell a kit that completely gets rid of it all, which is great. So we're going to take out all these little guys here, these lines here, the ABS sensor here, as well as the module that is in the bay, sitting above my turbo. Big, gigantic fire hazard. Something that I don't like using. I don't really like them. They just make access to the turbo really annoying. If something goes wrong, or if it gets too hot, there's a chance that, you know, your brake fluid can catch on fire. I remember the other one, EFI Solutions. My god, they have so much OEM stuff, like from the Heritage program, just genuine Nissan parts, things that are like at reasonable prices, and it's great because honestly I think it's bringing the scalping marketplace prices down to more of a reasonable, affordable, realistic level. So things like door trim rubbers, you can get the upper and the lower door trim rubbers, you can get all the clips, you can get front rad support, you can get a brand new bonnet for, I think it was $1,300 for an S14 Series 2. You can get the full rad support for, I'm just going off S14 because I've been looking up S14 stuff, but I did look at briefly at the 13 and the 180 stuff. The 180 front cut full rad support was a little more, but there was, I think, a 14 or a 15 on there. It was $600. The 14 was $1,000. What do you want?
Deep. It's deep.
Get some parts in and get this thing back on the ground and running. And they sold every single individual hose kit, heater hose kit for an SR in all the different locations with the serial numbers on it. And I was like, oh, where have you been all my life? Oh, they did sell one thing, and I was so tempted, but by the time I'd seen it, it was already out of stock. It was the S14 plastic OEM snorkel for the air filter airbox thing. I was like, that looks like my Auto Exy carbon fiber intake off my FD. That would be hilarious, like, to have one of them on an S chassis, because you just don't see them anymore. Like, half this stuff you don't really see anymore, so it's kind of cool. Anyone that's a veteran at this, bear with me. If we can teach people how to get into this, we can have more people to drift with. So yeah, just stick with me. This is my whole setup here. I'll show you when it comes out of the car, so it's easy to explain. Alright, so this is orientated towards exactly how it would be in the car. So if you're driving a car, that's technically what it would look like. So here, this is your LCA, which is your lower control arm. Now, this guy holds the wheel in place. This is the tie rod. This is your steering component. So when you steer, it pushes the knuckle on the ball joint down here. And this is the knuckle, by the way. This looking weird wire looking dude, They can come in all different shapes and sizes, but pretty much the thing that joins the LCA onto the wheel and pivots, that's your knuckle. Here is your rotor. You've got your hub in under here. So your hub has got like your ball bearing. Imagine like your skateboards and stuff. And then you've got your caster arm here. Caster arm, all this is factory. Yeah, so you can wind that in and out, but that's all the adjustability you get on your tie rod. And that's how they do like your wheel alignments and stuff. And this is your rack end, your tie rod end. It goes into your rack, which is this guy over here. Now this is exactly what I'm putting in now. So this is the hard race adjustable tie rod. So you can see it's got, not only has it got the bit under here that's adjustable, which is under there. We've got tie rod end that goes into the rack. The rack is this guy up here. So there's like a pole in there, it slides in and out of the rack, and that's your steering essentially. It's hydraulic most of the time. You can get electronic ones and stuff as well, but I'm not going to confuse you. So we've got our tie rod. This is an extra point of adjustability, and if you have something like what I've got here, which is exactly why we're doing this, you have extended LCAs, which is, again, this is the thing that comes off here. So this is your lower control arm. The lower control arm chooses, well, it determines how far out the wheel gets pushed from the car. So the longer the LCA, the more you can push the wheel out, the flusher you can get your fitment, the better you can get your steering, your handling, etc, etc. What we do when we do this with drift cars is we want to have an increased track width for better grip, better steering, more lock, etc, etc. So you find a lot of the time drift cars will go and they'll buy usually a Wisefab kit or an aftermarket lock kit of some form, or GK Tech does, like Corey done over there. He just bought a lock kit which comes like with everything. So this is grassroots lock kits. So what we do is we cut the factory LCAs, we extend them. They can be extended by 10, 15, 20, 25, up to 40 mil usually. My Skyline actually has R34 40 mil extended LCAs. That's why a lot of the time you'll see my 32 running uber camber, because I've actually got really long LCAs in the thing. The 14, we're keeping it tame, so we're using the 25 mil extended LCAs. We've got these drop knuckles here, which I could probably show you actually. I put these in line. You'll see the difference between the two. Hiya. Oops, sorry, my focus on my camera zooms in a little too much. Oh, there we go. So we've got the OEM setup, and we have the lock mod setup going in. Not only do we have the adjustable tie rod, but we're getting the adjustable caster arm as well, which again has another point of adjustability here. So what caster will do is it will push where this sits forward or backward in the wheel well. So imagine the wheel in the arch, you've got the wheel here. So a caster arm will move the wheel forward or back. Now this drastically changes the handling.
Yours or Corey's?
Probably mine. Are you stealing?
No. I'm wondering, taking it out of the car so it doesn't explode in the
Oh,
sun.
okay. I thought you were stealing it. The further forward you go, the twitchier the steering. The further back you go, the more likely you'll see that in like a drag setup or like a, I don't know, highway, whatever. It's dead center for stock. Forward is usually what drift cars will do. They push the wheels forward more, and what that does is it pushes the weight of the car also back further behind the wheels. So we've got our tie rod, we've got our caster arm, which is the guy that comes off here, we've got our LCA that comes off here and comes out and joins onto the wheel here, and then we've got our coilover that comes down from the top and changes the camber of the wheel as well. So caster does that, toe does that with the wheel, camber does that. I can't change my hand too much. And the drop knuckle, which I'll show you the difference in a second, allows this to turn more. See these guys here? These are your factory lock stops. Now we cut them off when we're doing lock kits or angle kits or anything like that, because what they do is hits on the lock stop right there. So that's the maximum we can turn. Let's get this lined up. I have an invisible rotor on here. Just imagine the rotor. And then the lock stop is non-existent. So instead of stopping just here, it can now go to here. And then obviously you've got your sway bar, which is this little dude here. And he just hangs on for dear life. This is the chicken bone of the car. It just stops the car from flexing so much. So if you're going over bumps, so I'm trying to get this with my hand. If my hand is the car, it's, oh, I can't do this. No, I can't. The twisting of the chassis, you guys know what I'm on about. So some guys pull these out because they want all four wheels to remain on the ground and let the chassis twist, but factory is fine for us. Hi Joan. This is Ben's mother. These two are related. Can you tell by the...
She's much better than me.
She is, yes.
adopted, I think, and she's just too polite to say.
Alright, my hands are full, so I can't touch much, but you want to show me this really quickly, Benjamin?
It's because Loki makes all this stuff pretty and leaves me behind, so then I'm forced to waste my time
Making
my
things
turbo
pretty. Actually taking care of cleaning things. It's a nice colour. It's like a candy almost.
Yeah, boy. Rainy boy, I'm getting it on that thick.
Don't get it on too thick.
Yeah, I'm only painting inside because it is such a fine last coat. It's already got the undercoats on, it's just a...
We're losing the lights. Alright, I'm gonna get this other arm back in and I'll talk to you guys soon.